Good afternoon to those who are with us today. Welcome. Welcome to the School of Business and Management, the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology Program Information Webcast 2019. I'm Kelvin Mack, the Undergraduate Program Coordinator of the Department of Accounting. And the young lady sits beside me is Ms. Chong, Jennifer. She is one of our final year major students. And today, our responsibility is to give you the key information about our undergraduate program, namely the Bachelor of Business Administration in Professional Accounting. During the time you are watching and listening to us, you are encouraged to text in your question at any time. We'll try to address all your questions at the end of the session. And if at the end we are not able to address all of them in one time, then we will follow up and then take care of your questions offline in due course. First of all, let me share with you the background or the idea behind the curriculum design of our program. Certainly, the primary goal of our program is to groom business advisors and the next generation accounting and finance professionals. That the program with an aim to enable them to add values to the business community. Now, the point I really want to stress is, so the practice has long been moving away from the conventional number crunching practice. Nowadays, professional accountants, we're not bean counters. So in fact, we're business advisors that proactively provide advice to business people. And even some of the accountants, they are running their own business and managing their own companies. In order to do that, so we have to have a very broad-based curriculum in order to provide ways to our students to acquire multidisciplinary abilities. Now, we subscribe to this thought. So in order to provide our students with multidisciplinary abilities, so they have to have a very broad-based learning experience. In our curriculum, not just confined to traditional classroom learning. So the program also put emphasis on other learning experience. For example, we offer electives to our students, so they're encouraged to participate in internship of various kinds, and also they're encouraged to exchange out to our sisters or partner university worldwide in order to get real life experience. So later on, Jennifer will be the good person to share with you in this respect about her own personal experience in this regard. In order to deliver everything I mentioned, we need a very dedicated team. What I can share with you is, so in the department, we have not just good teachers, good faculties, but we also work with a bunch of dedicated admin staff with good passion to look after the needs of our undergraduates. So these certainly are the things that set us apart from others in the community. Talking about our program, so I would like to summarize our points that I'm going to talk about in 3 areas. So firstly, I would regard it as a content-rich, and experience-rich, and also an opportunity-rich program. First of all, let me take you through the core competence requirement under our accounting undergraduate program. So the competence that you're looking at, essentially, they are also the major core courses included in our program. The thing that I really want to put emphasis on will be that these competence, I would say, they are all cross-disciplinary or interdisciplinary. To put it in perspective, for example, if we imagine we're in a financial statement audit situation, and auditors should not have just having the knowledge of auditing standards or the professional ways how they can effectively carry out the audit procedures. But at the same time, they should have, or they should well versed with, like, for example, company law requirements, taxation knowledge, and also financial reporting standards, etc., so that the auditor, he or she will be able to identify the potential risk underlying the potential risk underlying the reporting entity. Apart from the core competence, so we never overlook the importance of keeping abreast of the practice changes. So that's the reason why we recently introduced 2 new electives to our students. The first one is the financial statement analysis using the latest business analytical tools. And the second one is the accounting analytics for professional accountants. And because we care of what we do, and the professional bodies, no matter it's academic professional bodies or professional accounting bodies, so they see the quality in it. So that's the reason why, so we've been receiving continuously over the past like 20 years, having the accreditation from them. And in particular, when we talk about the Hong Kong Institute of Certified Public Accountants, in short we call it HKUST, so which is the sole licensing body that regulates our profession and also grant license to professionals. So a graduate actually successfully can obtain a full exemption from all the papers at associate level. There are altogether 10 of them. So in other words, a graduate will be able to seamlessly enroll in the 4 modules at the professional level right in the year of graduation. So it's definitely a plus to our accounting major graduates. Now, speaking of experience-rich perspective, so let's look at the out-of-classroom activities. So in this regard and on that front, so we particularly have this total learning concept in mind. So what does it mean? So we'd like to see how out-of-classroom or enrichment activity, to what extent it's going to help university education. Now, I'd like to share with you in this particular end using 3 examples. The first one is about the student development programs. So as I mentioned earlier, apart from the traditional classroom learning, so we purposely partner with the professional firms, not just accounting professional firms like the Big 4, namely the Deloitte, EY, KPMG, and Price. And we also with opportunity to partner with other commercial corporate as well. So a lot of them actually provide very good, well-designed student development programs, like student clubs or cadet programs. And because of their scale, they are big firms, they're big corporates, so they have offices around the world. So that means their cadets, their trainees, essentially they are our students, in fact. So we'll be given opportunity to have training overseas. So it's definitely a good learning experience outside the classroom. Second, because these are also the potential employer of our graduates, so they also offer placement opportunity to our students as well. So we've been receiving internship program invitation from not just public accounting firms, but recently the department also spent a great deal of efforts to secure more internship opportunity for students from a business corporate as well. So in terms of financial analyst position or management position as well. And because of this good partnership practice in place, so a lot of these top management people from the Big 4 firm or from the business corporate, so they also help us. They also help to groom our students through various channels. So for example, a lot of them actually, they contribute their time and efforts to help our students to acquire real life experience and provide advice to them in their self-development journey. So a lot of them actually act as a student mentor or external mentor, and they also give lectures with the topical issues with primary objective to let our student know about the actual development in the practice. So the first-hand knowledge from their real-life practice experience, so that our students will be able to raise their awareness of their job placement choice. So the last component under this enrichment activity, so I must count on the case competition and debates. our students actually with a lot of chances to put themselves in challenge. So these are at the same time a golden opportunity for them to learn as well. Among others, so I would like to share with you the most exciting event will be the yearly business case competition organized by the HKUST. Actually, I led 2 teams at the beginning of the month, and I can happily share with you one of the team actually won the second runner-up, and the other team actually won the best paper award of this competition. Now, let us go through the employment performance by showing you some of the key numbers express themselves in percentage. On the right-hand side, you might notice, so our graduate actually obtained full-time employment upon graduation. So 91.3% of them actually did that. So it's pretty remarkable. So each year, we have roughly 180 accounting graduates, and they've been performing very well in graduate or recruitment performance. And if you look at the second item, so actually more than 3/4 of them were able to obtain the first job offer even before they graduate. So in other words, accounting graduate actually very competitive and actually well received by the employers. And this page shows you a list of the main employers who've been very supporting and recruited a lot of accounting major students. And you might realize some of them actually well-known corporates, like at the very top with Accenture, which is a very good practice in the business consulting area. And let alone, of course, we have the big 4 firm and also the big banks as well. So that means looking at this employee list, so it turns to very good and promising graduate recruitment opportunities to our graduate as well. Okay, so now I've done my part. So after listening to all I've covered, so anything you'd like to add on? And I bet the audience in front of us, they've been waiting for long from you and would like to hear from you your first-hand experience and tell our audience what exactly our program is like.
Sure. So here today, I'm going to talk about my experience as an accounting student and mainly focus on my internship experience. So as many people expected, an accounting student should have worked in Big Fours. And yes, I did. I was a winter intern in KPMG. And one point to notice it, I figured out that at that time, I'm quite easily to pick up the work that my senior manager assigned to me. And I think that credit to the accounting program that in HKUST, because I think our accounting curriculum is well designed in step with the needs of the business sectors. And also, it's also aligned with the latest business practice. Therefore, especially like the auditing course that I study, I find that the auditing technique is what exactly I did in the working environment.
So it's a content-rich part.
Yeah.
Good content.
And I think that make us more easy to pick up all the working and
right.
also outperform comparing like within the internship.
Good.
And secondly, apart from working in the auditing firm, I also have experience in banking industry. Mm-hmm. And I was a summer intern in HSBC, commercial banking side. I think that, as I remember, one part of the assessment that throughout the internship is a very last presentation. So I need to work with the other 5 interns and have a presentation about US-China trade war. So I think this part also well equipped because USD Business School have many courses with many presentations. So usually every semester we have a few presentations. So after training from all this course, I'm easily like having a structured presentations, and that helped me a lot in the final assessment in the internship. And I think many of you will think of a question to ask is that you as an accounting student, so don't you think it's a waste if you work in the banking industry, like don't work in the big fours, like the accounting firms? And I think it's not totally a waste, you can say, because in our accounting curriculum, we have a lot of other skills like financial statement analysis, and also just like the newly added elective. They are the skills that you need for the whole business world. Like all the jobs, you need to read the financial statement, you need to know how to analyze them, how to calculate all the ratios from the financial statements. So I think this is not a waste, but this has well equipped me with more choice of my career pathway.
Exactly.
So this is a point that I really like about accounting. And at last, luckily, I got my return over from HSBC. So I think I will pursue my career from now on in banking industry. Yep. And that you can also see that these are the other experience that I have throughout this 4-year program. I've went to exchange in Switzerland, and I've also other internship experience like in China.
So
and
which picture shows you were in Switzerland? So
the top left. Okay. Yes. So, and also you can see that we have presentation in all our courses. We have to suit up and present like professionals. So, and at last, this is also my photos with my others interns. Yeah.
Right.
And that is all my experience, I can say.
Okay. So basically, thank you, Jennifer. So her experience shared basically very much in line with what I described about the program. So it's just not just content rich, but experience rich as well as opportunity rich as well. My remark would be like, in our program, you need to work hard, but look at Jennifer's case. So the work that you put in your program actually paid off. I think it's time to address some of the questions that we receive. So let me read the question first. So the first one we received was how lectures are conducted and what's the usual teaching and learning methods. I cannot tell you one model that suits all courses. Because if you look back and look at the core competence, actually with auditing, with financial accounting, we have taxation. But what the way that we conduct lecture, what I can share with you though, so it's a part lecture, part interaction. So we lecturers, we do not lecture the whole class all the way through. We do not do all the talking. So our objective is to give the basic things, so to define the turf, to define the boundary for discussion. And then the rest of the time during the normal, regular class, so we have problems. So we have problem solving time. So we lecturers, at that moment, so we become facilitators. So we walk around the room and address students' questions and problem that they might have. So the actual teaching and learning is in interaction dominant in that way, because accounting is a skill that you cannot fully acquire the skill. You will not be able to fully understand the thing unless you practice. So unless you get your hands dirty. So that's how we conduct a typical lecture, put it this way. The next question I received was, if I study accounting as a major, can I practice outside Hong Kong? Now, it's a very practical question indeed. In fact, it's a good one. Depends on how do we look at practice. So if we see practice in general, so how you apply your accounting professional skills. So actually, it's accounting, I would say, in particular, after you qualify. So it's a passport that will take you to the places around the world, because we're talking about professional accounting skills like financial management, business law. Under business training, actually you can carry it along. So your accounting qualification actually helps you to work not just in Hong Kong but overseas. But on the other hand, if you look at practice in a role as an auditor, so auditors actually carry a special mandatory roles in different jurisdictions. So the mandatory role performed by auditors is they are really a bunch of independent professionals that can actually sign audit reports. So audit reports is a thing that tell the general public, the users of financial statement. So the reporting entity in a particular year in a particular financial year, so the financial statement the directors prepare actually true and fair. So they have the statutory role and responsibility that empower them to sign audit reports. Okay, so in that regard, so if we look at practice in such a way, so if you obtain a HKUST qualification, then you might need to practice in Hong Kong at the beginning. So if you want to sign audit reports in some other jurisdiction, then you may need to pursue a professional qualification in other jurisdictions as well. Okay, so we have another interesting question that maybe Jennifer will be in a better position to address this. So the question was, if one study BAFS, so business, accounting and financial studies, so in the high school, so would it be giving any advantage when he or she actually study in our program in HKUST?
Okay, so this is a very common question, and for myself, I have studied BAFS in the HKUST. So I would say when coming to choose accounting course, the first year there is a fundamental course for every major you have in business school. So there's also one for accounting. So I think for that course you may easily pick up some accounting concept. Just for the very beginning, but later on there is many add-up and other concepts that you have to learn on top of the BAFS what you learn. So I think you may have slightly advantages on the first course you have, but then others may also chasing up because they also have to study the first fundamental course, and they will also learn all the skills that you learn in BFS, and then later on everyone is in the same pace.
Okay, very good. Okay. We have another question. Maybe Jennifer and I can address it together. So it's a hot question indeed. So will accounting be replaced by technology development in this as well? Maybe let me first attempt this, and then Jennifer may add on.
Okay.
In due course. Actually, it's a very valid question to ask, in particular in the past 4 to 5 years. So a lot of people pay a lot of attention about AI, artificial intelligence, and in fact, all of us are witnessing a lot of disruptive changes in a lot of sectors in the business, including accounting, of course. So my answer to this, first of all, to a certain extent, technology will help the way we do or perform our professional job. For example, so in the course of auditing, so we need to collect audit evidence. Artificial intelligence or technology, it does help to improve the efficiency. So make auditors' life in terms of performing repetitive tasks faster and more accurate. But technology will not be able to replace human decisions. So on that front, I would say we never worry too much about technology, the way they replace our whole professional career. Do you agree?
Yeah, with my experience in working in the accounting firms, I think the repetitive practice, it I think, will be replaced by the technology, like typing in all the numbers, building the Excels, but then the human decision, whether it's the number is right or wrong in this year, or is it right? So I think this is still need the human decision to make it.
Okay. I think that's the end part of our session. So thank you very much for watching and listening to us. So if you have further inquiries, so you may contact our admission officers and also student ambassadors through these ways. So we are we have the presence of all these social media with presence of all these. So you may contact us if you have any inquiries concerning admission, concerning our program. Thank you very much for your attention, and hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.